Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to Sidequest Gaming, where we explore titles old and new to uncover some of those hidden gems in gaming that you might want to give a crack and try out for yourself. Today we're taking a look at a title called Stacklands. Now, this is a game that's developed by a really interesting group called Sokpop, and they're a Dutch gaming company that have 4 members that are if I've got my information right, renowned for launching a new game every month. So their kind of modus operandi is trying and innovating on new ideas and new concepts, some of which work, some of which don't. Stacklands is a card-based game that's kind of a survival building game, and it's really quite an interesting game, an interesting title. I have played quite a bit of time in this game. I've sunk quite a lot into it, and we're going to start a new run today, dive in, see whether it's something that you like or not. As always, at the end of the video, I'm going to wrap up with my thoughts, my impressions about the game, and any recommendations I might have. Let's give it a go. Alright, so we're just going to start a new run here. Okay, so Stacklands starts with kind of like booster packs. This is how we play. So the whole game is represented by these cards in front of us. So we have a villager, and what we can do is we drop him onto this rock here and he'll start mining the rock. So everything we do in this game is on this playing mat here, and it's done by moving this villager around, or cards around, and combining them to different elements. Up the top here we have these different sell or buy points, so we can sell cards to this icon here to get coins. So right now I'm going to cut this wood down, see what it does, knock it into a stick, and we can sell and then use coins to buy more booster packs. So if I drag this stick, see bottom left, it's got a 2, represents the amount we'll get for it. And so we get 3 coins, and we can drop those 3 coins over here. While we're doing that, I'm going to get some berries picked so that we've got food. Got a new booster pack here. Now up here, this top, we can see the amount of food that we currently have. We've got 1 out of 2. At the end of each moon, our villager or our people will consume food, and if we don't have enough to feed them all, then some of those villagers will die. So now we've got a good amount, we can survive 1 more night. Over here, this tab that I closed before is our quests and our ideas. So this is kind of like our recipe menu, where we can collect more things that we want to learn or create. So as we unlock ideas, they'll appear here, and we can build different stuff. The quest, as you start the game for the very first time, is going to work you through a number of different quests that will allow you to kind of teach you the mechanics of the game. But as I know this game quite a bit well, we're just going to give it a whirl and see where we get to in this. So we're just chopping down some trees as we go right now, and we're about to finish our first moon. So at the end of the moon, we have to feed our villagers. Boom, boom. So both those cards go. Everyone's fed. We can continue to the next moon. So right now we're just chopping down our trees. We're going to have to figure out a way to kind of work up our tech tree, getting different packs, creating different things that will achieve different kind of resource creation elements. So one of the things that we can build, if we look over here, we can build like lumber camps, right? So lumber camps will allow us to have an infinite source of wood. Same with quarries and things like that. Because if we don't have a infinite source, we're relying on getting these tree nodes or rock nodes out of this pack. There are enemy creatures, as we can see here, and domestic creatures that you can collect along the way. So we've just dived into combat with this rat. Hopefully we're going to beat the rat, because that would be pretty concerning, and we would lose the game right at this early point. The artwork and the style of this game is really appealing. It's got this lovely cartoon quality, and the noise effects, the little pops and the movement are really tactile in a satisfying way. So we're going to build up a bit of food for a minute. Now, and then we might this will build us a lumber mill. Now, one thing you'll notice up the top right here, we have a card cap. So there's a maximum number of cards that can be on the playing field at any given time. This we can increase with warehouses, or sheds, which is something that we'll have to start building relatively soon, in order to be able to keep adding more and more cards to the playing mat. Otherwise, what happens is we have to sell some of those cards at the end of each moon. And that includes things like buildings and production facilities that we've made. So we've fed our character again. We're going to start a new moon. And we're just waiting till we get some further wood. We might actually sell this raw meat here to get some more money so that we can get another pack. So we need some of these rocks. We know we've got some berries over here, so we're definitely going to be able to get another berry to make sure we survive another night, which is a pretty big priority for us. But we've got a bit of time. Now, something that we can do as well that's worth noting is that we can increase the game speed like that with pause as an option. So push pause is a really important part of this game. And being able to increase the game speed means that we can avoid it becoming a bit too tedious. So we have started by playing on relatively slower speeds, but we might speed it up a little bit just so that we're able to achieve a bit more in the time that we have together today. So what my goal right now, soil's really good, but my goal right now is I'm actually trying to get another stone so that we can make a quarry. So that way we've got two basic resources that we can access reliably. And so far, we're not actually having a great deal of luck with that. What we might do is we'll chop this tree down, boom. Okay. Still no luck. This is not going super well for us. We're about to finish this moon. Just trying to build something there. Get some money. We're going to buy another Humble Beginnings pack. There we go. A rock. And another villager. That is definitely fantastic. Okay. Never thought we'd get a person out of a booster pack, would you? Now, we actually are in all kinds of trouble. Now that I think about it, we just got that villager, but we got him and we hadn't made a stockpile of food, so he's already dead. Which is not a great start for us, to be honest. We kind of needed him to be able to make any new villages. So hopefully we're going to be able to grab a few more through the packs. But first, let's just get all these berries so that doesn't hopefully happen again. Got a bit of poop up here. Okay, the soundtrack's great in this game. It's just really chill. There's nothing. It's not too excitable. It's just really. It gives quite a lovely vibe to the game. All right, we've got enough food this time. What I'm making now is a quarry. This is what I meant. So eventually you hit this point where you've got too many cards, right? And you have to sell some. Now the rabbits have been pooing over here, which is useful, but you'll notice I can't sell my corpse. So if you have too many things die, you can actually start to kind of clog up the game board, so to speak. Cool. All right, we've got our quarry up and running. Now, what do we want to build next? We probably need to build a shed, which is how we increase that space. So we need 1 wood, 1 stone, 1 stick. So sticks are made from wood, so we're going to need 2 wood and a stone. And then we're going to have to look at starting to sell. I might grab another... there we go. Because we do need another human. I'm hoping one will just appear out of one of these packs again, because that would be very useful for us. Okay. Now we're going to make our stick, and then we're going to build our shed. Our shed will increase that limit that we have on cards on deck. This is going to be a bit of a race between whether we get the shed done or the moon finishes. Oh, but by eating, I think we've lowered the amount we needed anyway. Yeah, we did. Cool. So we don't have to sell anything. And as you can see, when we built that shed, the border expanded a little bit, which is quite nice as well. I'm going to put my villager on this logging camp. So I think we're just going to have to go through packs. There we go. We got a villager. Great. Now what we're going to want to do is get a house. The reason we want to get a house is so that we can start to produce villagers. So I'm just going to get some more food here, because that's going to be our next big issue, is that as we start to collect more people, we will need more food to supply those people. Now let's grab a, what do you reckon? Let's grab a Seeking Wisdom pack and see what we get in here. Whoa, a shiny flint, which gets us $10. Let's get rid of that so that we've got some more money. And what we're going to do is, now that we've got enough for a house, we'll build a house. Now, we are probably going to want to make a coin chest, which is somewhere to store our money here. Now, food's going to start to become an issue very, very quickly for us. One too many cards. Let's sell these. Boom. Start a new moon. Okay. Let's put all our coins in our coin chest. That just kind of clears up the board a bit. And let's start our villagers producing more people. But as you can see, we don't really have enough food to survive another night if we have 3 villagers. So let's go reap and sow. Let's see what we can get for a reap and sow pack. That's costing us 10. So, okay, we've got a cow and 2 trees. Not an amazing outcome there. The cow's good because it's going to start giving us some milk over time. But we definitely need to find another way to get some food. There we go. Got a baby there. Baby will grow in its hut, in its house, and we'll put our 2 villagers back to work over here. Actually, I'm going to put him getting some berries because we definitely need that. Now, what we probably want to try and do is get a bit of a farm going, something that can sustainably create more food for us. So we need 1 soil, 2 bricks, and 2 planks. Now, how do we make a brick? If we go down here to see this massive list of all the different things we can make, resources, bricks are 3 stone. I'm going to speed it up a bit again. And put our villager over there. Okay, so let's try and cut these down a little bit before the moon ends and we have to start selling some things. What we're trying to achieve is get to the point where a farm will then allow us to kind of sustainably create certain bits of food. Now, if we combine some milk and a berry, we can get a milkshake. As I said, I have got quite a bit of familiarity with this game, which does help kind of give me a leg up to understanding how to put things together. And when you first play it, it can be a bit inaccessible in certain ways. Now, you don't necessarily need or want to know a lot of this in advance. So it's quite fun, the exploring and finding things out in this game. The one thing, I guess a couple of things I would always recommend is knowing in advance that the shed is how you increase the size of the playmat and the amount of cards that you can create, and that it's always worth creating these kind of resource generating nodes because they don't run out and they do provide a I guess sustainable way to get resources rather than having to worry about getting the packs every time, because you can very easily wind up in a cycle where you're only creating enough to get the food for that moon, and like not progressing forward, and that can feel quite restrictive. Keeping an eye on the moon progress is really important, so you know just where you are in the cycle and whether or not you're about to have to sell a bunch of cards, or you're about to have a bunch of people starve to death. Which, as I say that, it becomes really apparent that that's a problem for me right now. So I'm going to go to, let's get some cuisine, and hopefully there's a bit of food in there. There is. Not actually enough though. So let's go and pick some berries here. I only need one more berry to get there, but you can see I'm right on the edge of having enough to make it through the night. Let's sell that. Potatoes have to be cooked apparently, so what if we made a fire? What about a cook fire? Let's search over here. Well, that's not what I need. I need a fire, campfire, because maybe we can start killing some of these rabbits and eating them too. That would be a positive for us, I think. So we're making our brick and our plank over here. Great, we've got food enough. We definitely have way too many cards. We are in a bit of strife to get things done by the end of this moon. So we're going to put this over here to make a fire, and we're going to see whether we can make this should be making a farm. 2 bricks, 2 planks, and a soil. Going to get rid of that. And let's kill a rabbit. Let's see whether I can actually defeat a rabbit or not. Looks like I'm going to come out victorious on that one. I don't think either of these buildings are going to finish. Oh, we got a hat. Let's have a look at a rabbit hat. It's adorable. Drops my health, attack speed, and defense goes up. So, as you can see, you have different equipment you can put on your characters, like that. And it does change their abilities and their impacts. Like you can get pickaxes and things like this that you equip your characters with. Oh, okay. Now this next moon, I think we've got to sell 4 cards. Okay, we're just going to sell our wood here. That's okay. We are going to be looking a bit stint on food, I think. Okay, so we've got a campfire and we've got a farm. Let's grow some potatoes. And we're going to get another reap and sow pack. But now we're pretty much out of food. And we're going to gang up here on this rabbit. Okay, we have 2 trees. We don't really need trees. I'm going to sell those. And we might... What will we do? We'll just get some more wood to sell over here. Okay, we got a carrot. Carrot is good. We probably want that on our farm, to be honest. We're going to put that there. I've been kind of hoping I was going to kill one of these rabbits and get some meat to cook, but so far we're not having a great deal of luck on that front. And I am getting a bit concerned that we are going to be looking at another death shortly, unless we are able to... So just poop from that rabbit. Okay, we are not going too well on that front. Okay, how are we going to survive this? Let's... Interesting. And you can see the conundrums that you face, the kind of challenges. So we have a... Oh, it said we could cook the potato, but that's not apparently allowing us to do that. Let's have a look here. Potato. Is it baked? No. Okay, so we haven't discovered a version of a cooked potato yet. and apparently we can't just eat it, and that's a bit of a disappointing factor. So in that case, let's sell it. Let's go for a curious cuisine and see whether we can get some food to tide us over here. We got some mushrooms, edible fungus, and a carrot. Okay, that's a bit of food. Can't complain with some food. And let's see what else we can get here. Flints. So we're going to sell some wood. We'll keep the flint over here. What would we want next? We probably want to start looking for iron, right? Like some kind of next level resource. So in order to get iron, we need 2 flint, 1 wood, 1 stone. So that means we're going to keep wanting to... flint occasionally comes out of the quarry. That's kind of how we get access to that. So time to eat. Scraped on through there. What can we do? We are going to go 2 seeking wisdom packs. Let's see what we get out of these that might be of use. Okay, there's a flint. That's what we want. And a bunch of rocks. Okay, let's put all those rocks together. Put him on that. We'll put someone on the berry bush shortly. And what did we say? For our iron mine was 2 flint, 1 wood, 1 stone. Well, we have that. There we go. Let's start the iron mine. And let's sell... And let's swap him for the berry, because I think that's going to be important. We're going to make another milkshake over here. So as you get used to things, yes, there's a lot of clicking and moving around, but it's quite an intuitive game too. Like there's certain things that just make a bit of sense. So that's made another carrot here. I feel like that's not really enough. We probably want the farm making berries because they can make berry bushes, which as you can see, we get a number of ones out of a berry bush. So we've now got an iron mine. We can throw him back on the iron mine to start mining away. And what else do we need? We probably want a smelter, which once again needs flint, brick, and plank, which is quite a bit that it requires there. Okay, so we have got a fair bit going with our farm there. We wanted a brick, what didn't we? So let's put those on him. We've got 2 flint, that's what we needed. So now it's just a matter of 2 brick. God, I need to double check. I can't remember things. 2 flint. No, that's the iron mine. Smelter was 2 flint, 2 brick, 1 plank. Okay. 2 flint, 2 brick, 1 plank. No, 2 flint. 2 flint, 2 brick, 1 plank. There we go. So we got 1 brick, 2 flint. We need another brick because we've got our iron ore here. But we're going to need some more wood. Where are we at food-wise? We're over the card cap. We do have the food we need. That's good. And you see we just got a berry bush there. We're just going to scrape in on food, but we should be okay. So, boom, let's turn that into a brick. And I think once we eat all our food, we should actually almost be okay on cards. Okay. So, everyone was fed. 3 cards. We'll get rid of our tree. What else will we get rid of? And this is where it becomes really difficult because we do actually hit a bit of a conundrum in terms of not wanting to sell certain things. I'm actually going to sell our house because we can rebuild it, and the campfire because we can rebuild it. But we need the food and the other things we have access to right now. Combat is a big part of this game. You equip your guys with armor, swords, magic spells, all kinds of things. And there's also like you adventure to different areas. So there are things like you can get a boat and sail to a pirate island as an example for something you can do. You can go to the industrial era where there's electricity and sewage and all that. That is part of a DLC, but there are quite a lot of... this game kind of keeps going as far as you really want it to. There's magic portals that you go through and you fight the witch. So there are various kind of bosses and I guess major quests that you go on that you have to try and help your village to survive the process of moving through. So, and eventually you get to these points where you have these production lines that are really automated and really quite satisfying to control as they shoot out materials. So what did we say our smelter was? Was it 2? I've said it, this is number 5 or 6 times. I keep forgetting this, but I think we got the right amount now. 2 flint, 2 brick. 2 flint. I've got 1 brick there, don't I? Alright, so we need 1 more brick, and then we will be good to start smelting some iron ore. Let's get some more berries coming out, and I think we need a farm. There we go. Oh wait, there we go. Brick's good. So let's build that. That'll be our iron smelter, and let's make another milkshake. And let's speed that up. Okay, food's there. Okay, smelter is ready to go. So what we can do with the smelter is we put the iron ore on there, and we need some wood. Some wood to fuel the smelter, which we will grab in a minute. Villagers have been fed. Uh-oh, a strange portal has appeared. Oh, so this is where we're going to start seeing some combat very shortly. I am in a bit of trouble because I've got my 3 villagers who are not very strong, and I do not have much in the way of weapons or armor or anything like that. What I probably want to try and do, if we can get there, is we're now building we're smelting an iron bar here, and what we might be able to do is kind of keep our guys alive just long enough for us to make an axe or a sword or something, which then we can use to fight off a goblin. Look at him. He's got his little beer belly going on. So as you can see, he starts moving across the battlefield. Was that what I needed? An iron bar, a stick, and a wood. Okay, that's a shame. But what we can do, particularly in this early game when there's not so many bad guys invading us, not so many things to worry about, we can start kind of running away. Though, as you can see, we're worried about food again. So this is kind of a constant tension that we're going to be fighting. Okay, so now you can see certain things when you put them together will self-build. You don't necessarily need to always have a villager building them. So equipment's one example of that. Stuff like the milkshake's another example. And like, as you can see, he's kind of not sure where to go or what to do right now. But we now have an axe, okay? This is going to be good for our woodcutter anyway. We have a lumberjack. So what we're going to do now is we're going to throw all the boys. All the boys are going to go to war. And let's see how we go. And this is how combat works. So you can have as big a stack as you want, really, against the enemy, and they kind of take it in turns to attack each other. Their equipment determines kind of how they go, and it is RNG which character is being attacked by the enemy. So quite often you'll wind up in these big stacks against stacks. So we've got a goblin hat. Let's put him on over here. So we now have a goblin lumberjack, and because he's got his axe, when we put him on the lumber camp over here, he will start to cut the wood a lot quicker. So final thoughts. Let's wrap it up because it is getting to that time. My impressions, I love this game. I think it's a fantastic game. I think it's really innovative in its design. Haven't really seen anything like it before. And it definitely tickles a really interesting itch of that kind of survival crafting mechanic while being a very chill game to play out. The push-pause mechanic really allows you to kind of take it at your own pace and stop when you need to. Even like right now, while we're waiting to feed the villagers, you can go off and, get yourself a coffee or do whatever it is you need to do. Which a lot of our, like the more first-person, third-person survival mechanic games don't really put you in a position where you have control over time. It also is quite charming. It's a very nice game to just kind of plot away, and it's quite therapeutic to work through, stacking the cards, exploring new mechanics. It's fun going to the different islands and the different challenges that come up with the different locations you can go to. Each time you kind of master a new mechanic, you feel the change or increase in not difficulty but complexity as something else is added in or looped in for you. The game, you eventually wind up with a really large playing field with hundreds and hundreds of cards on it that you're like automating and trying to have go into collection containers and things like that. I highly recommend this game. I think it's a fantastic one to play. It's an interesting one that can quite easily be overlooked, both from the sort of the way it looks at a first pass. It doesn't screenshot super well, and in terms of it being from this kind of smaller developer that's known for more quirky games, it's definitely worth your time and a shot. Give it a wish list. It comes down on sale. Highly recommend it being worth a pick up. Just something fun to do that's quite relaxing for its single playthroughs. So this has been Sidequest Gaming. Please take a moment to like and subscribe, do all that YouTube stuff to please the overlords. It truly, truly does make a difference to me, and really helps me to know whether or not this is the kind of content that you would like to see. If you'd like to see more of it or any particular games to be covered, please comment below. I'll have a link to this game for you if you want to go directly to it and download. And if there's anything else that you'd like to see me add to my content, I'd love to hear from you. As always, have an amazing day. Thanks for spending this time for me. I really appreciate it, and catch you in the next one. Peace.